You can see we are on the road.
We are. We're on the road again, and it feels good to be out and about and
Take these things off.
doing adventures.
Oh, yes, that was way overdue. I still have doctor's appointments. I'm still healing, but I'm healed enough to do some light adventuring.
Moderate. And I keep the walking to a minimum.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm stubborn, but it's been fun.
Can you guys hear us okay? Can you see us okay? Because
I feel like it's so bright in here.
I set this up on my phone again, and you know the history about my phone. It likes to flip things. And it shrunk the screen. But we just decided not to try to redo it, restart it, move it to another device. We just decided to roll with it.
Yep, and whatever happens, if we have to go vertical, we'll go
Yep.
vertical.
And so the screen went dark, and then we wait. It was about 10 minutes later, and it had me thumbprint in and then swipe, and it opened back up. So I was like, "Hey, we're good." And I'm just gonna keep it on by touching the
His
screen.
phone is always a gamble,
It's
and I
weird.
said, if it does it one more time, you're never, never allowed to use your phone for a live
And we didn't
again.
change any settings, so it either works or it doesn't all by itself.
Technology, I'll tell you what, it is what it is. I don't try to get too frustrated. Hey, Deborah!
Hey, Deborah, how's it going?
Hey, miss you.
I heard it's been pretty hot down there.
Yes, hot.
So where are we at?
Where are we at? Well, first off, before we tell you where we're at, I wanted to talk about those tornadoes that rolled
Oh,
through.
yeah.
They were everywhere.
Did everybody make it through the tornadoes that just moved across from west to east? I know Tullahoma got hit pretty hard, and
Yeah, I heard there was even some in Florida.
yeah. And
So glad to hear
yeah.
that
We
that you're doing better, not that it's hot.
yeah. Hi, Kasha.
Hey, from Chief Lynn.
So we were at the Little Rock Air Force Base.
In
Fan
Arkansas.
camp just north, just barely north of Little Rock, Arkansas when those storms came. The sirens were going off on the base.
People were running for cover.
People were either driving or running down to the shelter, which they tell you that in the
Hi, Jason.
they tell you in the brochure that there's in the event of a storm, the storm shelter is the restrooms.
Yeah, so the sirens were
So-
going off. There was lightning. The wind was whipping through. People were running. And I've never heard tornado sirens before. I'm used
Oh,
to
yeah.
hurricanes because there's a lot of that in Florida. And hurricanes you can prepare for fairly well. Tornadoes are kind of
Yeah, they can hit and miss.
spot up and
Well, we were very fortunate because, let's say my two hands together represent the cells as they were moving across, right? So, as they were moving across, right near where we were, they started to split and open up, and then it kind of went like this, and then they kind of rejoined on the other side. So it was almost like parting the Red Sea.
yeah, we didn't even get much
They
rain.
were calling for 1.5 inches of rain. I don't think we got anything.
You know what it reminded me of when we were in Otter Creek? Every time there was a storm, it's like it would separate around Otter Creek like it's in this little bubble of
Little
protection.
bubble,
So it reminded me of that. But it was a little scary when the sirens are going off and then you see everybody leaving and going to the bathrooms and you're like, oh, should we be going somewhere? But Brett was checking the
I
maps.
was watching the weather and watching my map, and they were pretty on spot because they were doing a live weather break out of Little Rock. So I was just listening to them, and
So we stayed in the RV.
we stayed and we watched the skies.
Hi,
and,
she hunts.
And there was lightning everywhere.
Thank you,
the sky
Nancy.
was totally lit up. Like it was lightning so much that the sky was lit. If there was a funnel, you could have seen it.
It was a pretty lightning show.
Yeah.
But yeah, at the same time, it makes you a little worried. But I was steady saying some prayers. It does that in Bronson too. She was saying, Kasha.
Oh yeah.
So I was saying lots of prayers and prayers to anybody that was affected by that because that's just horrific to see the damage that comes through and in the blink of an eye you could be left with nothing. Thank God if your life is spared, that's obviously the most important thing, but it's still heart-wrenching to look back and see your home gone. So
Yeah, so we hope that all the viewers and their extended families, that everybody made it out safely.
yes, and continue to pray for anyone who didn't, and just love on each other, and always check and see the people around you, your loved ones, excuse me, what they might need. It is a little dry here.
The air here is extremely dry.
So dry. So I guess we can get to where are we?
Yeah, they got burn bans in effect, and we're under 8% humidity, so it's really dry.
I don't have enough moisturizer for where we're at right now. I was not aware of exactly how dry it would be here.
Thanks, Nancy. Let me do a good clearing here.
Goodness.
Excuse me, I'm sorry about that.
Let me clear my throat. So we are in San Antonio, Texas.
Good, Nancy.
Nancy knows. She's on it.
She's in the no-nos.
When you know, you know.
No.
So yeah, it is super, super dry here, and it's been making my hair just crazy. Every time I look in the mirror, I'm like, what is going on? And I'm like, oh well, whatever, I give up.
I'll video a segment, and then she'll be like, why didn't you tell me my hair looked like this? Like, I don't look at your hair, it looks fine to me.
Ooh, barbecue ribs at the Riverwalk.
Oh yeah, we
Nice.
saw a lot of that. So we have been to a lot of places, and we're backed up on videos, so they will all be coming out in the next week or two.
Oh, a huge rodeo. Those are
yeah.
fun to go to. I've never been to the one of the big ones here. Hey, Georgie, how are you?
Hey, Georgie.
At least you have hair. That is so funny, Mike.
So for those of you just joining us,
I could loan you some. I have so much.
For those of you just joining us, we are in San Antonio, Texas, and we are staying at the Fort Sam Houston Campground. It's an Army base, so it's not a fam camp. The Army bases call them fam camps. For the Army,
that's cool, Deborah.
it's just a campground. So I'd
Our
like to go.
son-in-law was here.
Oh, good. Yeah, so I had never been stationed here. I had never seen this before.
It's a pretty busy base.
It's a busy base, and they have trainees here. And this is a medical training post for the Army. I don't know if other branches come here either, but I did see Navy and Air Force people walking around in their PX. So I would venture to say that it's the medical training facility for the forces.
And the commissary is huge.
It is. It's the biggest commissary I think I've seen. So that's saying a lot, because Fort Hood has a big commissary. In fact, I think they have two. When I left, they were building a second one. But this is, yes, Brooke Army Medical Center. They call it BAMC, Brooke Army Medical Center.
Matter of fact, they have a medical museum here, which I really wanted to go to, but unfortunately it's closed until June because where they having some water breaks
or something
issues going on. So I've never been to a medical museum. I thought that would be really cool. So
I was expecting to walk into a MASH unit. Like you walk in and all the MASH vehicles are there. That would have been neat.
So
we'll catch it on the flip side. We'll have to catch it.
Yeah, that's why I tell Brett, he always thinks we're checking a place off the list, but so far I'm just making a list of what we're going to do the next time we come back here because there's so much to do.
So this campground has, I think, 76 spots. It's $30 a night.
Oh, hello from Sweden.
Yep, and that's why we like the fam camps, because they're inexpensive. So $30 a night. We have a concrete pad, full hookups, water, electric, and sewer on every site. It's a pull through every site.
And you have a lot of safety.
Yep, there's a lot of safety things going on, and then you have we're under a live oak shade tree, so that's
a wax
nice.
museum. Those are always cool.
I don't think you can beat the price.
No.
And the Little Rock fam camp in Little Rock, Arkansas, it was also $30, so you couldn't beat that. So
hello, Michelle.
Great value, and we like supporting the MWR, the Morale, Welfare, and Recreations, wherever we go.
Oh, 63 in Wisconsin. That sounds lovely. Even though the temperature's been high here, it hasn't been awful. But I just think, I think we're in March, and I think, oh, what must it be like in the middle of summer? Because
do not want to come here.
No. And I'm used to Florida heat, which is completely opposite in the humidity factor. So, hello from Sweden again. That's awesome. I'd like to visit Sweden.
Yeah, I've been through the Sweden airport once.
So we are on the brink of some real heat here, but right now is bearable. I wouldn't really want to be here in the summer.
As we've been traveling, travelers around us are heading north, so they're headed back home.
Yeah.
Michigan, Minnesota, all those northern states, all the snowbirds are coming back, so be prepared.
But we did want to be here. I actually wanted to go to Arizona too, but we're going to have to do that later on in the season, obviously, since our medical hangups and whatnot.
Well, Tommy, tell your sister and family we said hello and join the family.
Yeah, hello. But we're going to have to come back again because, like I said, there's so many things I still want to see. And I do have to be back in Tennessee for a doctor's appointment. So this was like a quick run here to check it out and make a list of what's to come.
So we might as well hit on Debbie's question there about the new bed because it is in our notes, but we'll go ahead and hit it.
I love this new bed.
I like the new bed. You're not touching the bottom of the bed at all.
It is very nice.
It's spring loaded on the bottom and it has a floating.
Brett was saying we need to take this mattress into the house. He thinks it might be better than the one we have in our bedroom at home. It was definitely worth the money. I want to say we paid just a little bit under $800 roughly. Don't quote me on that because I don't remember.
Mattress Insider.
But
looking for an RV mattress.
Yes.
And they will custom cut them.
But it was worth the money. Definitely better than what they originally had to have, or they had in here, which I wish Tiffin would start using these, like get in touch with the company and start putting these in there so that people don't have to replace them, because nobody likes the mattress that comes in these.
I know, yeah.
And as soon as you get it and you spent all this money on an RV, you're having to rip it out and get something good. So Tiffin, let's get with it. Just put the right stuff in here in the first place.
Thank you, moderators, for the work that you're doing there in the chat.
Hi, Marydale.
We have visited some places already. We've been here a few days, 2 days.
10,000. Woo!
Oh, nice.
I hope it cooks dinner too. That's pricey for sure.
So we have been to the Riverwalk, and we've...
Oh, yes. And we've made lots of videos.
Yep. So that is a commentator talks all through that. So he makes my job easy.
Actually, that video will be tomorrow's video.
Oh.
Of the Riverwalk. And yeah, we've made a ton of videos.
We did the river cruise on the boats.
Yeah.
Through the Riverwalk.
It is so beautiful down there. I can't wait for you guys to see downtown area. The buildings are gorgeous. It's just been a good time looking at everything.
A lot of history up down there.
There is so much history. I just had no idea. It's opened my eyes to so many things. I love it.
Now, as we travel, we're going to point out the good things and the bad. So far, we've hit on all the good things. We haven't hit on any bad. So only the couple of things. The attractions are a tad bit pricey, not ridiculous.
Yeah, well, it's probably like that everywhere now anyway.
I think the riverboat tour was about $65 for the two of us. And I think...
Was it that much?
I think so.
I don't think it was that much.
Okay, then don't go by that. But it was in the ballpark. And then
I want to say it was around 38 to 40.
For both of us?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
For the riverboat.
And then we did the Alamo as well. Now, I'll give you a tip with the Alamo. These two events are close to each other. So you can park and hit them both in the same day, actually, because they're not very long. The Alamo, I'll give you a tip. They charge, I think, they have different price tiers.
It's somewhere between 14. They do everywhere. Yes. First of all, has different price tiers for like these VIP packages and you know, the encounter package where you get more intimate time and special treatment, and it's a little ridiculous with all that, I have to say. And it's also ridiculous paying for all the parking. So it can get pricey quick.
And here's the thing with the parking. It can be anywhere from $5 an hour up to $20 an hour, depending on if you
whether the lot is attended,
not attended,
shaded.
And it's hard to find lots that are attended. And security is a concern because
we've heard from a lot of people. Cars being broken into, and especially at night, it's even more shady with that. So you have to pay for parking everywhere you go, but you might want to step it up and park in an attended lot or
Yeah.
a lot that's under camera.
And be smart about where you park. Where you park and when you park. Because we went on a Sunday afternoon, so we thought that was kind of safe. You know, get out of there before dark and get back on the base. I just don't like big cities, but that's where the attractions are.
Yeah,
for
and
this trip.
you
So
have to pay for parking almost everywhere now.
everywhere you go.
That's another peeve I have, like with Disney or a lot of different attractions. You're paying admission to get into the parks, plus you have to pay to park on top of it. I think that's like double dipping. So it should be illegal, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So it just should be one price.
We saw the Ripley's, but we didn't go in Ripley's.
Yeah, we didn't go there. Like I said, I've got a list. I wanted to do the Ripley's, but there's so much to do and so little time. But I already have a pretty decent list for when we come back. Yeah. But back to the Alamo, because I kind of sidetracked you with the different pricing tiers and what you wanted to say.
So if you're wanting to see the maximum number of things on a budget, like we always keep a budget in mind. We're not just ones to throw money at everything, just because everybody else does it.
I'm not a big baller like that. Yeah, I don't have big baller egg money here.
We're not big ballers. The Alamo, I actually would not pay to go in the exhibit. They only charge for the exhibit. And the exhibit has all the antiquated tools and important people and their clothing and what they wore.
Pew pews.
And the pew pews. All those
knives
are in there. But you get a fair number of that outside.
But some people really like that, then it's worth it to do that.
If you like that,
I mean, it still is neat. And there's a big diorama in there and things like that. But for us, we would have I can't even speak at this moment, preferred not to have done the museum part of it, because you can walk around the church and the grounds for free.
So the only part of the Alamo, the original stone of the Alamo, is the church. So it's a little misconceiving when you get there and you're looking and reading the signs and thinking, oh, I got to go to the exhibit. That's going to be the Alamo. No, it's not actually. That's a building they built to put the exhibits in.
Yeah, all the artifacts.
That's a new building. So if you go in the church, that's free. And that's the original Alamo right there. That's the main building. Now the rest of it, some of the walls are still there, but nothing else is still there.
And there's a movie that's really cool,
Yeah,
and you can watch that for free.
The best part of the entire Alamo visit was in the outside in the courtyard. There's things to look at and read, and there's statues, and then they have the time-lapsed capsules of what was going on and when it happened. There's a movie that plays, and when someone makes a motion or buy it, it starts, and there's seating there.
I learned a lot from that movie.
I didn't video
informative.
it because it's a History Channel documentary is what it is, so you can go out there and look for it, and you can't copyright that stuff. So we didn't video it, but we did sit and watch it, and it really puts in perspective the Alamo, what they went through, Davy Crockett, and all the people that were involved in the Alamo, how there was only 200 people, and they held off, lots of people. And
we did do a video, so that will be out at some point. I know we were saying we might be able to do a video a day here, but
yeah,
we'll see. We'll see what we throw out and when. It's hard to do all this stuff and then do the editing, so we'll do the best that we can to get them out in a timely fashion, because I love sharing all of it with everybody.
Yeah.
So, but I can't believe everything we've seen and just the history here. It's amazing. Now, absolutely.
Here's some of the distractors. We talk about parking a little high and not real safe. The roads are atrocious.
Oh, Texas.
I don't know what Texas has done since I left, and maybe it's because I left.
I don't know if these roads might be worse than the roads in Alaska.
The roads are horrendous. They're patchy, they're gutted, sometimes they're missing pavement.
Even here on the base, they're really horrible. I'm shocked.
The ones on the base are like...
They're probably the worst on the base, to be honest.
They're terrible. It's like it says speed limit 20, in some places 30. You can't go 30. You'll beat your car up. And we're in an off-road vehicle.
Hi, Mary.
Hi, Mary. So, definitely Texas, if you're listening, reinvest in some roads before you're building new roads. Now
Pony
they are
up
building.
and get some better roads.
I-35 comes down through here, and they got it going low where you can get the exits, and then they have one going high. Well, they haven't finished building the high one yet. So
I will say, when we've been driving around, I am just amazed
the
at
roads
how
are
much
terrible.
there is everywhere.
Yeah.
There's so many restaurants. It's like you have everybody trying to outbeat each other and have all these fancy donuts and everything so crazy. So traveling, you can spend a ton of money if you eat out.
Now,
And on entertainment. So if you want to travel and do stuff, you got to really watch your budget with eating out, because I mean, all these places look so appealing and you want to try all these different places, but you'll go broke. Not to mention you might gain a lot of weight.
yeah, so yeah, be careful when you're out there. There's a lot of people, and I'm going to say not as friendly here as I thought it was when I was here, but I was in not a major city either, so I'm judging it a little biasly.
Yeah, and they drive like crazy.
They're not quite as bad as South Florida, but
I don't know about that.
But they're kind of bad.
I think when you get anywhere near a big city, it gets pretty cutthroat, and everybody's just zooming and no blinkers, and you got to be very careful.
A lot of lane changes. Numerous times in front of us, there's people trying to merge into one lane, and they're just going like this.
At least
They
nobody's
don't
been
even turn
flipping
their
us
head.
off, though. That's
No,
great.
They're not flipping you off. They're just cutting you off.
But yeah,
they're driving too fast.
It's
They're
a little stressful.
A little bit rude, and I just don't like it. So,
but I think that's just how the world is today, especially again in the bigger cities.
The world is different.
It is different. So you just got to kind of calm down and not react to it in any kind of fashion.
And I'll also say this, now read between the lines, but there's a lot of people visiting from other places, other countries now live here. They don't know how to drive. So a lot of that is, hopefully that's being fixed. But a lot of people here are from other countries, and they just drive like they're back in their other country. They don't pay attention to lines.
Well, that's how it was when I lived in South Florida, because we had a lot of people that were there from Colombia, and they just drove like they were still in Colombia. So unfortunately, it is what it is. But again, just take a chill pill and don't react in any kind of way, and just deal with it.
So we visited a couple places today. We went to the caverns and a safari, a drive-through safari, and they're co-located just about 20 miles north of here, northwest of here.
And those will be some more videos that they're pretty cool. So
you're gonna see like a head go inside the Jeep and try to take the bag of snacks out of the Jeep. It was crazy.
Yeah, so that'll be cool.
Some friendly animals.
I hope you guys enjoy that, because I had fun. I love animals.
It starts out a little dry, but wait it out. It gets better at the end. At the very end, it gets really good.
Yeah.
So
I love animals and going to zoos.
First, we're weaving around. I'm like, man, the animals are not moving. They're just whatever. But it gets better. It gets a lot better at the end. So just hang with it.
So yeah, it was a fun day today. And the day's not even over yet, so who knows what else will happen.
Right.
Oh, I do know what else is going to happen today.
Tonight.
And I know I've already seen people talking about it in the comments.
I saw it too.
Is there going to be a meeting in Otter Creek? And there's supposed to be a meeting tonight. So tomorrow we may or may not have a video talking about that meeting. So as you can tell, we don't have an agenda meeting video today. We just thought we'll just do a live and talk to people about what kind of cool stuff we've been doing this week and have fun with that.
And if you've noticed on these agendas, they really aren't all encompassing.
Yeah,
they're not very informative.
They don't tell you much at all anyway.
Yeah.
So
they talk about.
We'd rather just talk about what happened after the fact.
They talk about stuff in the meeting that's not on the agenda, and then there's stuff they've put on the agenda they haven't touched on. So
yeah.
The agenda.
I don't know.
The agenda is like a yield sign. You can stop or you can go. It doesn't. It's a suggestion.
It's just a suggestion.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nancy.
Thanks, Nancy.
Yep, hit that thumbs up.
Both of them. Boo boo.
But don't take out your eye. So yeah, we'll be most likely having a video about the meeting tomorrow. If so, I'll put out a notice.
For our members, we appreciate you guys. We did push out a video yesterday for the members.
Actually, that was today.
Oh, today. I'm sorry. See, I'm behind. I don't always know when to.
Who knows what's going on when you're on the fly having these adventures, but yeah, we did put out a video for our members of when we went to the Japanese tea garden here.
Mm-hmm.
So that was just a beautiful place. So we thought we'll share that with you guys. So thank you to all our members. I hope you guys enjoyed that one.
Mm-hmm.
We enjoyed being there. Got a couple of ideas of maybe a few landscaping ideas for the cabin.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm making him a to-do list.
Oh, no.
And he's like, yeah, no, we can't have that. He like knocks it down right away. But I keep trying. So, what do you think it's been like getting back into the RV?
It's nice getting back into the RV, and I enjoy seeing Texas again. I haven't seen Texas in quite a while. But I have been to San Antonio, but I didn't do.
I've never been here.
I didn't do any of the events.
Yeah,
I saw the Alamo, and I think that was about.
You know, when you're living somewhere, you often don't get to do the events because you're too busy working.
Yeah.
Gotta get that money to pay the mortgage. Yep, big old honeydew list for Brett.
Yeah. I get one thing off and two more come back on.
But I think it's been pretty easy getting back into the RV. We got to pack light because it's not a long trip, so that's always nice.
I guess Doreen missed the mattress.
Yes, if you look back, we were talking about the mattress earlier, and we absolutely love it. It's a great purchase, so definitely don't regret that one. But yeah, it's been easy getting back into RVing. We packed light, so there's a ton of room.
Thanks, Kathleen.
And that's very nice to have all this extra room. When we went to Alaska, we didn't have a home base yet, so we were so loaded down. Moving around here was often a challenge because it is a smaller RV. And when you're in here with two people, you got to be patient and move around each other. And then if you're loaded down with a bunch of stuff, that just makes it even more so.
Yeah.
But it was nice, and it didn't even take us too long to pack it all. So we were kind of like, okay, let's just do it. Let's go today. And we threw all our stuff together and left.
Hit the road.
It's very spontaneous.
And it's for Jason.
Alaska. So, and what else? Also, while you're traveling, you think of better organization ideas and different things you can do to tweak it for next time. And you're also making the list of what did we forget to pack that would be useful for the next time. So I always have one of those. Luckily, there's only a couple items on that list so far. And hopefully it only stays that way, because even when we go back for the doctor's appointments, you know, we're not going to stay there that long, and then we'll go on another adventure, and this will kind of be the way it goes from now on.
Yeah.
Lots of adventures, lots of being in the RV. So I look forward to that. We've only really had one issue so far on this trip. Mm-hmm. So we also made a video about that.
Yeah. And another continuing issue with some of the drawers. They like to come off the rails.
Yeah, that's really annoying. So we have to think of a better solution with those drawers.
I've got an idea for that, but I'm going to do it at the house because a power drill is going to be in use for that.
Yeah, sometimes you realize when you have to whip out the regular screwdriver how spoiled you've gotten with that.
Hey,
Thank
Jason.
you, Jason.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
We wish you were here too. Yeah, I bet you are tired of the snow. I was talking to my son yesterday, and he's in Fargo, and he was saying one day it was 60 degrees and the next day it snowed again, and he's like, this is just nuts. So I think everybody's really ready for some better weather.
So with the windshield, we're not going to do anything with the windshield until it becomes a bigger problem, to be honest, because Some states are real particular. Like Florida's one of those where, oh, if you get a crack, go and the insurance will pay for it. Well, let me tell you about the insurance because we got a lot of comments about that. We're aware that some insurance policies cover glass breakage. Some do not. Florida mandates that you have insurance that has glass breakage. Well, here's the thing with that. When you're mandated to pay for something, you're paying more for it. So I can't remember whether I opted for the windshield coverage or not. I'll have to go back to my policy. I remember discussing it.
And an RV windshield is a lot pricier than a regular vehicle windshield.
They're kind of expensive.
But yeah, you're going to have to do some research on that paperwork, honestly.
I can tell you the difference in states. You go to Alaska and a crack across a windshield is nothing. It's a badge of honor up there. You can't drive a vehicle up there without a cracked windshield. So it's a very different by state. To me, the crack, from inside the coach, you can't see a crack because there's a big console that comes down the middle of the glass.
Yeah, so until it starts spreading to the point of view, well, probably not going to worry. But I would say that you definitely should research that so that when it does become a problem, you already know the answer.
Well, people think that your windshield's going to fall out because it's cracked. That's tempered glass. That's
$900.
To break.
Wow.
You could take a sledgehammer to that and it's not going to break it. It's just going to go, but it's still going to stay intact. Like, it's hard to break a windshield.
Oh, thank you, Tommy. That's a good idea. We'll have to look into that. We're talking about shimming out the drawers.
Oh, what it is they're on rollers, and the rails, they click into a lock.
Yeah, I bet they do, Jason.
So the locks, some of them lock and some of them don't, and they're spring loaded. So they're made so that you can push the tabs, one on each side, and pull the drawer out. Well, what's happening is you go to pull the drawer, and if it's off the rails, it'll want to fall in your lap. I mean, it doesn't. You catch it. But then you can reach up underneath with 2 fingers and slide the rail and lock it back in place. But they just keep coming unlocked. I think I'm just going to put a screw in them from the bottom that's not too deep, but just deep enough to grab it to keep it from unlocking. But I really want to study the spring-loaded locking mechanism to see how it works. I might be able to just wedge the springs open, and it'll be harder for them to come undone. I don't know. I haven't really studied it, but that's what it is. And it's not all 6 drawers that we have in here that do that, but it's like 1 or 2 keep doing it.
Thank you, Christy. We definitely feel more relaxed and happy. I love being out on the road. I love exploring and being out in the nature. It's my happy place, being outdoors. So, yeah. Definitely love it, and I feel it, so I'm glad you can see that.
And it's also kind of nice not having your phone ringing all the time.
It's super nice.
When we had the campground, I was more on my phone than getting my work done.
Yeah, you can get really annoyed. I sometimes want to throw his phone out the window, but me, I don't worry. I just put my phone down and walk away from it, and I'll get to it when I get to it. I'm not one of those people that has my phone on me at all times, checking and getting back to people. I always say I'm in the here and now. So whatever's going on out there, and those people, unless it's some kind of an emergency, they can wait. Because sometimes Brett will say, hey, while I'm driving, can you answer this person? I'll say, is it an emergency? And he's like, nope. I said, okay, then they can wait. Because right now I'm listening to a sermon or something like whatever I'm listening to, that's my focus, and I don't want to lose my focus by dropping to answer this person.
Right.
And that person, they don't care. They don't need me right now, so I'm not offending them, and if I am offending them, then they're just going to have to get over it.
Some thin skin, right?
So that's just the way I feel about phones. You don't need to be at everybody's disposal 24/7. People can wait. Again, unless it's an emergency. So I'm just not one of those people. Kevin was asking something about programming a windshield and installation, but I had never heard of anything like that.
Maybe he meant to schedule, because you can have what's that company that comes out?
Safelite.
Safelite. They can.
Hi, James in Anchorage. How are you?
But I need to look at my insurance policy first. Right now, the crack isn't bothering me. It's a hairline crack, and it's kind of going and it stops. and from inside you can't see it at all.
Yeah,
From
wait till
outside,
it's a crazy Medusa crack that's going all
yeah,
over
it
with the
needs
hair
the
going.
spider web all the way down to the console. Then I'll think about getting it changed. But it's a hairline crack. It may stop. It may not do anymore.
When the crack starts looking like my crazy do everywhere,
Yeah.
then you better worry about it.
Yeah, so it's a wait and see. So I'm not concerned.
My wound
about it.
is not healed completely yet.
No.
It is going in the right direction, so thank you, God, for that.
Yep.
I'm happy. It's still painful, but nowhere near the pain level that it was. I think it's going to take about another roughly
Melanie.
2 to 3 weeks to be completely healed. I'm hoping and praying anyway.
Yep.
But yeah, it's going to take a few more weeks. So, but I got a pretty high tolerance for pain. So if I say the pain is bad, then believe me, it is bad. Because I don't usually sit around or, let the pain knock me down to where I can't do anything. I naturally have a high tolerance, even if they were to prescribe pain medications. Usually they don't really do much for me. I have a high tolerance to medications as well. So, but thank you everybody for your prayers.
Yeah.
And prayers do work. And I'm on the right path, going in the right direction. I always see God working every day. And I think if more people paid attention and slowed down a little bit, you'd see God working in your life too. Sometimes we're going so fast that we miss a lot of things. So
those first few days or first week, really, she was questioning whether she should have had it done or not.
Oh, and it wasn't a thing where I even had a choice.
Right.
But you're like in so much pain, like I shouldn't have done this. And I was crying, and it was really rough. And I have to say, I don't think I've ever been in so much pain before in my life. Woo! Sorry about that. Got a little shaky there. I kind of kicked the tripod.
She's shaking you people up, man.
But I mean, I've been in some situations with a lot of pain before. Like I've had a dry socket when I had a tooth pulled, but they never lasted this long. Or when I had my son, I had a C-section and they cut me open before what do you call that now? The anesthesia. Before the anesthesia took place. So I actually felt the cut across my belly. And then I went out and I'm like, could you have waited 5 more seconds? Because that was really excruciating, but it was very short. Thank God. But this pain has lasted, now it's been about a month already, right? Yeah. About a month. So, and then I still have another 2 or 3 more weeks of the pain. So, but I don't wish it on anybody. And I always pray for everybody who's going through stuff. But
thanks, Christine, for your well wishes.
yeah, but that's exactly what we need to support each other and help each other out when we're going through hard times. So I do thank all of you guys for your prayers and well wishes. May 21st, I will definitely keep you in my prayers, Nancy. That's 2 days after my birthday.
Ooh.
So May is a very special month. April showers bring May flowers.
That's right.
And you are in God's hands and everything will be good. He's got you. Yeah. But we'll definitely keep you in our prayers, Nancy. What else you got? Ooh. Where are we going next?
Oh.
Where are we going next?
So
we only got little bits of time.
Yeah, we only spent 3 days here, but let me tell you how lucky.
Oh, we were lucky to get in.
We were lucky to get in this spot.
Another prayer answered by God.
There is another base, but I really didn't want to have to go over to that base and go shopping. It's a first come, first serve over there, and you don't know what's going to happen. And it's further away from the events that we wanted to go to. Here, we're less than 10-minute drive. It's like, if you could fly by the way the crow flies, it's like 2 miles to the event.
But they said this place is reservation only.
Reservation only and books 90 days out. Now,
and guess who didn't have a reservation? Us. Guilty.
That's because I knew there were a lot of bases, and I just...
Because this was very spontaneous
it
also.
was last minute. So, in the office, after we were talking a bit, he goes, you know what, let me call this guy, because he hasn't come in yet, and I haven't heard from him. and he hasn't confirmed anything. So he called him, and they canceled. So that gave us 3 days. And then he said, if you want to stay longer, come in and talk to the staff tomorrow. She might can juggle you around and you can get another day or two. And I was like, okay, if we need that, we'll go talk to him. But we actually got to these events that we wanted to see pretty quickly. We did 2 in one day and 2 in another day and had an admin day. So we're ready to leave here tomorrow, actually. And we'll be heading up to Fort Hood, Texas. We want to go check
That's
out.
good news, Kevin.
Want to check out my old stomping ground. I spent 8 years there. I was
8
stationed
years.
there 3 different times. The first time I was there for 4 years. Then I came back and did 2 more years. And I came back and did 2 more years. So I went to Korea, came back, deployed, came back. This was my home station pretty much, was Fort Hood, Texas.
Thank you, Christine.
And Fort Hood
I
has a
feel
lot of history.
better.
There's some stuff there to see. We have a reservation for a couple days, but we'll see how it goes. We do got to get back home before Tuesday.
Yeah.
So that's our plan. We got to get back before Tuesday.
My
So
baby's going to show me his stomping grounds.
I'm sure it's changed.
Going down memory lane.
It's
Everything
been more
changes.
than 30 years since I've been to Fort
Then
Hood.
it's probably changed a lot. You could
Yeah.
be away from somewhere for 5 to 10 years and it looks way different.
Yeah.
So it's probably going to be pretty shocking for you.
Yeah.
So
The campground used to be gravel, and it was all, they were real tight and it was gravel, but now I've seen pictures of it. It's paved and they got a building there they didn't used to have, and so I'm like, oh, okay. And it's still in the same place, so I know how to get there. But Fort Hood, they've changed the name. It's Fort Cavazos or something like that. Hopefully it gets changed back, but it's always Fort Hood to me because that's where I
but
spent
the
my
problem
time.
is they spent a lot, and
Of
I mean
money.
a lot of money changing
Billions
these
of
names.
dollars changing these
And if they
names.
change them back, they're going to spend all that
Another
much more money.
Billions of dollars, I know.
I mean, there's so many better things they could have spent their money on, but we're not going to get into all that.
Water over the bridge.
What does my shirt say today? This is my "Here we clucking go again."
I mean, good morning.
I mean, good morning. And it's got a rooster chicken on it there. So
I'm trying to get. There it is.
trying to hold it out, but yeah. Actually, when I bought this shirt, I thought of George because I think I got this shirt at a, what's that?
Thrift store?
Rural King. Yes, I haven't seen any Rural Kings lately, so I almost forgot the name of it. But I got this one at Rural King, I'm pretty sure, and they had a bunch of them, and I thought of George, but I know she has a lot of shirts that people have got for her, and I didn't want to get her a second one, so I said, well, I'll just get it for myself and show it to her. So
You guys want to see the campground a little bit? No, I'm not gonna walk around it because it's like almost a mile all the way around it. But I'll just show the few lots and the lot we're on. You guys want to check that out? I'll take the camera with me because we're not on the computer, so we got more options here.
no computer.
Bear with us as we walk around here.
I gotta find my shoes.
I got shoes.
Well, I don't.
There is no Wi-Fi at this campground, but if you go over to the office, they have Wi-Fi. So we're just using the 5G. We get plenty of good connection here. Ooh, bright sun. So you can see the spot. Therese will get her shoes on. She'll come out here. It's a nice spot. It's all paved. If you remember my landing gear issue, they're working again. It was just a loose connection in the back.
Thank goodness.
Yeah. So you
It's
can,
pretty depressing when you have a new coach you have to waste money on.
you can see the kind of the campers in the back and how the lots are laid out. You got a grill over here behind us. You got a
Pretty
picnic
spacious.
table, and they're all padded. They're real nice. Now, if you flip back this way, this is the border, not the Mexican border, but the base kind of sits on the edge of the fort. So the campground sits on the edge of the fort, and that's one edge of it. So that goes off base, right there. Look at those legs, Teresa.
Yep, they're awful white. Since I've left Florida, my legs have gotten awful white. I've never been so light in my life. And my crazy hair, you're going to see in the videos, my hair's just been absolutely crazy here.
Yeah, there's leaves on the trees. And then we're parked. I'll walk around here a little bit. We're parked real close. We're right under a live oak tree. Right here. And so the sun comes across on this side and it shades the camper most of the day, but right now it's in the sun.
There's some gorgeous live oak trees around.
But it's very
San
dry.
Antonio, they're just gorgeous.
You can probably hear the leaves cracking under my feet.
It's crazy dry.
It's very dry.
I've been moisturizing every day and I look down and there's like cracked skin and I'm like, what? I'm going to run out of moisturizer.
We'll get back over here in the shade.
Yeah, you definitely want to be in the shade here. That is for sure. But there's some gorgeous old live oak trees that we've seen that provide a ton of shade that are very necessary for this area.
Yeah.
So that's a blessing.
Well, we're glad we made it. We're glad we made it down to San Antonio. There's a lot to see down here.
I feel like I need a cowgirl hat and some boots.
I believe it's going to be madness down here toward the end of the month.
What kind of madness?
March Madness.
March Madness.
NCAA Tournament Madness. And the Final Four is being hosted in San Antonio. So with the terrible roads and all the road construction, it doesn't take much traffic for it to back up. I mean, we've ran into backups, and I'm like, man, the roads are not even full and they're backed up.
Well,
but
they're
the
always doing construction.
is horrendous. The roads are terrible. So if you're coming to the Final Four, plan ahead. We're not going to stay for it. It's too far out.
I'm glad I have earplugs because when he's watching these games, he's yelling at the TV.
It depends on the importance of the game, man.
He was listening to one game while we were driving. And I'm editing a video, so I was wearing my headphones anyway. And then I keep hearing this yelling. I'm like startled because I'm like, what happened? What happened? And it's him yelling at the game.
Shoot it, shoot it. Block that crap, block that crap.
I'm thinking we're under attack. Something happened on the road. He's scaring the crud out of me.
So I was watching the Tennessee-Auburn game where Tennessee beat Auburn. They advanced and went to, then they had to play Florida. I'm going to make a prediction. Florida's tough. Florida's tough.
We need a little Jesus. I got a little Jesus that I have in my pocket.
I don't think Duke has anything for Florida. They're deep. They have a deep bench and they got some healthy players back again. So now don't count those couple losses they had during the season because if those happen now, they wouldn't be losing. They are a tough team. They got a deep bench. They don't get in foul trouble and they don't miss threes. Like, they were shooting NBA threes through the whole game. It was crazy. But anyway,
I don't know nothing about it.
I'll finish talking basketball.
I don't know nothing about it. And he's always like, oh, there's something important. Like, check this out. So I'm like, oh, trying to pay attention. Then he's talking about basketball. And I'm like, I don't care about that. Why do you keep telling me about that? I'm over here thinking it's something important.
Because it's March Madness.
It is madness. Believe me. Complete and
But
utter
we're pulling
madness.
for Tennessee to get as far as they can. I think they do great if they get to the Elite Eight, and they're capable of doing that. And then maybe they can pull an upset on Duke and move into the Final Four.
I'll get you a big tee.
Or that would be in the Final Four.
To put somewhere in the house or put in the yard. If they pull it all off, I'm going to get you a big tee.
I'd like to see Duke make it to the Final Four and play Duke. I think that would be fun. So,
well, thank God for headphones.
all the experts are saying the 1 seeds are all going to make it, but they always say that every year, and inevitably, 1 or 2 don't make it.
I think Brett missed his calling. He could have been a sports commentator.
I like March Madness. It's fun.
I know you do.
It's one shot can change your whole season. You're going home or you're moving on.
So you missed your calling.
Yeah.
What a nut.
Well, anyway, guys, did you have anything else for these fine people?
I don't think so. Not at the moment. Not yet.
Yeah.
But soon, I'm sure. Because we're having lots of adventures and having lots of fun. So
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll have a good meeting tonight, and hopefully it'll be productive.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about that tomorrow.
Yeah.
So we will see about that. But I like being spontaneous and having fun on
Not
the road.
having a schedule that you have to get back to.
Not such a stringent schedule,
yeah.
because this Sunday, without having the live, I forget what we were doing, but we were doing a bunch of stuff. And I said, wow, do you realize if we would have had to do the live, we would have missed out on doing this activity?
We were at the
we would have.
Riverwalk, I think.
Oh, yeah. Okay. We would have missed the Riverwalk. I can't talk.
It would have got
Riverwalk
pushed
part
back,
of it.
and it would have crowded our schedule.
So it's
Yeah.
nice to be able to be spontaneous. I'm glad you guys understand that. And I love taking you along with us on this adventure.
And we'll try and give at least an hour notice when we do the lives.
I
So
try.
Yeah.
But
No promise.
no promises. So forgive me if it doesn't happen,
Yeah.
and love me if it does.
So, anyway, we're going to bid you guys farewell. You guys have
Put
a
these
great
back
day.
on because it
The
is so
sun
bright
is
out
in my
here. I
eye.
was like trying to read some comments, but it's just too bright to even read any comments. So I'm sorry if I missed any here at the end. And we'll bid you farewell for now.
Yep. We thank you guys for joining us here
we
at
love
Madam
you
Mayor's
all.
Adventures. Appreciate all the comments and hit that thumbs up button on your exit. We appreciate that.
Thank you to our moderators
Yes.
and our members. And thank you for the super chat, Jason. We appreciate you and love
Always
you.
do. Yep.
And we love you all.
You guys stay safe out there. We'll
Stay
see you on the
safe.
next one.
Have fun and get out and do some of your own adventures too. Bye.
Everything's always bigger in Texas, they say.
I want a big old steak.